Let us start a farm. We want to start a farm in 2025 with little money. Of course, we cannot start a farm with no money. The number of birds you're going to keep does not matter. What matters most is how much you're going to make from that particular project. And from how much you're going to make, what determines that is what you're going to do prior getting your first egg. That is exactly the reason why we are in this particular episode. My name's Antonio Innocent Mdongi, and if you're new to our YouTube channel, guys, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, and share as much as you can. I have also done for you detailed masterclasses. Detail, like I just mean detail. I've done masterclasses for other organizations. So with that experience put together and the many emails and messages you send me to ask for this and that, Antonio, how can I start a farm? Antonio, how can I make my own feed? Antonio, what is the number of birds per meter square and all that? I have summed it all into the masterclass. So if you haven't enrolled for our masterclasses, check in the description of this video. I've shared a link. Get to the class, learn for yourself, and honestly, we give you value for your money, and you'll have no question to ask, and you'll farm like a pro. See you in class. What we hear what we imagine is different from what you get on the ground. When you're doing the arithmetic with a pen and paper, assuming that I'll keep 100 birds and I'll make this much money in 1 year, when you come to the ground, then things are different. So I will make you get the poultry farming in a simpler manner. If you want to start a poultry farm in 2025, with less money and grow big, focus on output. Say, I want to produce 100 eggs. Then work in a way that you get your first eggs on time, like between week 18 and week 21. Week 21, you should be talking about 80% production and above. So once you get your production on time, that means you are on the right track. But before we get to production, we start from brooding. Before we used to do brooding, and we used to use some antibiotics, vitamins, liquid paraffin in the early stages of brooding. But now, that is not the notion, or that is not the technology of brooding today. When I tell you that these birds have been brooded at 3,000, and today we are having the same number of birds, having the right weights as per the manual today, you are surprised and you say like it's not possible. It is very much possible. In fact, to us, having a mortality is like a crisis. So in brooding today, we use different mechanisms, and I've explained that in details in the masterclass. So do your brooding right, so that at this time you cut on mortalities, like you literally have the lowest mortalities, or you don't have any mortalities. That means that you'll have more birds, translating to more eggs at production. Once you're done with brooding, proper brooding, then you work on the feed. In the masterclass, I give you about 16 formulations. Reason being, the cost of raw materials keep changing. This time round, like for example, last week, a bag of maize was going for cash 3,200. Today, a bag of maize is going for 2,700. But the price of commercial feeds in the market has still remained the same. In fact, it could go higher. You know? So once you check on feed, you are able to make your own feed. You score. You've lowered the mortalities. You've worked on the feed, reduced the cost of feed. Don't overdo it. Because the moment you overdo it, overreduce, it means that you're compromising on the quality of that feed. That is what you are avoiding. So just work on cutting the cost of feed. There are two farmers. This farmer is using commercial feed, buying that feed from the agrovetes with that high price. You are making your own feed, or you are acquiring your own feed from your sources, producing the same but at slightly lower price than this. So it means that when you go to the market to sell your eggs with the same constant price, you are making more. That is the way now you can grow regardless of the number of birds you're keeping to very high standards of production. Very important. Work on mortalities, then work on feed, then finally production. This bird will lay. It will produce that number of eggs that you want. But it can produce more eggs than what you have in the manual. By supplementing, giving it the conducive environment, and as well other routine management practices which I've discussed in details in the masterclass. In the manual, we are told that a bird will give us maximum production of between 94% to 96%. But practically, when you follow those practices we've given you, you go up to 98 to 99% production. Sometimes, if you don't do proper egg collection, you can wake up the following day and you imagine that the bird has laid twice. No, the bird will never lay twice. Just because of proper management at that particular time. So we can say, regardless of the number, what matters most in us growing faster are those three vital components in production. The structure doesn't matter. Of course, the labor matters most. That's why you keep emphasizing that you have to acquire the masterclass so that you get the skill, or you give your laborers the masterclass so that they can acquire the skill. Now, you have all this knowledge. We have all these factors put together and consider what will make you not succeed in poultry farming in 2025. Do not wait for January to come. That's when you start now wondering, what can I do? I want to venture into poultry farming. Start now. As you go for Christmas, get yourself your masterclass, which is at half price today. Learn. When you're back in January, get into it. Hit the road. You're gonna make it. Who loves you more than AIM Agriculture Farm does? Bye. See you there.